Hey there, in this lesson, we'll cover the essential HR situational interview questions and their answers. And my name is Josh, I'm the founder of HR University. And before we go ahead and move forward though, make sure to subscribe to our channel, and that way you don't miss any of our lessons on how to become a great HR professional, and also all of our other lessons on how to answer interview questions that will pop up when you're applying for HR positions. Now let's start. In this lesson, we'll explore several HR situational question types. So first is that of resource management. The second one is of leadership, and the third is of HR analytics. And finally, we have cross-functional teamwork and communication skills. Now let's start first with HR management questions. The first common question is, how would you ensure quality work when working on multiple tasks? Now, working on multiple tasks, you need to prioritize your work and have effective time management. And when answering the question, highlight your multitasking experience. Talk about scheduling various tasks and examples of meeting deadlines. In addition, mention project management tools you're familiar with and how they help with work management. The next common question in HR management is, how do you accomplish a task you've never done before? Now, this question lets your interviewer know about your ability to take on new challenges. Companies often go through changes and they need HR professionals who can address unforeseen issues. And the key to answering the question is showing you're not afraid of new challenges, whether that be technological or embracing certain conflicts. So share your experience of taking on a new challenge and how you handled it. In addition, describe the steps you took to accomplish a task and mention difficulties and how you prioritize those steps as well. And share how your problem-solving skills enabled you to overcome those steps and difficulties too. Now, the third question here is, what would you do if a team member wasn't meeting expectations? Having underperforming employees is common in every organization. And as an HR professional, you need to deal with such employees to achieve business goals. And the most common ways of dealing with such employees is giving deadlines or taking disciplinary actions. Explain to the interviewer how you identify areas where employees need improvement, so maybe using an HRS system or other frameworks, and how you would work with them to improve performance and make sure you're putting the right metrics in place. And tell them how you provide such employees additional support to compensate for the lack of skills or knowledge, so maybe that may be additional training or pairing them with a mentor. And next we have leadership questions. And the most common question is, what would you do if you encountered disagreement with your team influencing your work? This question assesses your ability to resolve disagreements without disrupting work. And HR professionals manage such situations by organizing meetings, listening to both perspectives, and trying to find a middle ground. They also consider the company's policies and procedures while handling such situations. And to answer this question, share an example of such a situation with the interviewer and describe the situation and how you handled it, and mention the steps and how you prioritize those steps that you took to resolve the disagreement. And the key here is to show that you found a solution without escalating the conflict. And next we have questions related to HR analytics. The most frequent question the interviewer will ask is, how would you use analytical skills to make decisions? And when answering this question, provide examples of using analytics to make decisions to improve employee productivity. And if you don't have experience with productivity improvement, talk about a similar example. Also mention the data you use to make the decision. And next we have cross-functional questions, and the most likely question is the interviewer asking you, how would you manage teams from different departments working on the same project? This is very common, especially if you're applying for an HR manager, an HR executive, HR director type of role. And employers want to ensure that the candidate they hire can manage conflicts and maintain efficiency. Without the ability to see the big picture and manage a broad range of employees across maybe different HR departments and other line managers, the project fails. While answering this question, describe your techniques to promote collaboration among project team members. So for example, discuss how you establish common goals for the project and ensure everyone is aware of the objectives. And you can also talk about encouraging communication between team members and facilitating meetings. Moreover, talk about conflict resolution strategies and how you handle team members who don't usually work together. And one of the big things I want to stress here is always mention how you look at data when going about your decision-making process. So data from your HRIS system or other areas where you can pull it. And finally, let's discuss the most common questions regarding communication abilities. So how would you deal with a customer's complaint? HR professionals must have communication skills since they deal with different people. In addition, you must know how to diffuse situations, listen, and understand what the other person is saying. So you need a high level of empathy. Moreover, you also need to know how to explain things efficiently. When answering the question, talk about listening to the customer's complaints and understanding their perspective. In addition, explain how you share the company's policies and procedures clearly and concisely with the customer. Moreover, talk about offering a satisfactory solution to the customer's problem. Now let's have a look at the best method to adapt when answering situational interview questions. First, try to understand the situation proposed by the interviewer and comprehend it from your perspective. And try to go deeper into the scenario to understand what the main problem in that scenario actually is. And that often takes this concept called 5 whys, which is asking why 5 times to dig deeper until you really understand the issue. And once you understand that main issue, propose the actions that you will take to solve the challenge and overcome the problem. And explain why you would take that specific step and how that step will be a solution to the problem. Support your answers by explaining the results your actions will bring. And there we have it. We just went over common HR situational interview questions. And if you feel like you have a better understanding of approaching those questions and making sure that you answer them with the right answers, go ahead and like this lesson. So like this video, subscribe to our channel, and that we can keep up to date with all of our different lessons on interview questions and all of our different lessons on how to become a great HR professional. And again, my name is Josh. I'm the founder of HR University, and I'll go ahead and see you on some of our following lessons as well. Cheers.